Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Apologize for the slight delay. We did have a moment where we needed to just figure out what all was going on between the admins and the players, but we're here, never fear. Dota 2 is indeed happening, and it is game number 2. Mineski facing off against Fnatic, the Southeast Asian qualifiers for the Summit 7. And I gotta say, I'm excited for it, particularly if last game is anything to go by. Last game, we saw all kinds of craziness happen across the map. There were team fights that were taking place in the Roche pit, as well as at the Tier 3 towers in the barracks. Mushi went ham at the end. He proved that he, at least for one game, was right. Ryu, break it down for me. What's going to happen in game number 2, in your opinion?
What's gonna happen in game number 2?
I mean, it's very broad. We got the Earth Spirit here. Do you like that pick for Fnatic, taking it away from AU, who made so much happen on him in the last game?
Yeah, I think it's a good place to start. Try and take away the enemy team's best heroes. He had a really good game on the Earth Spirit.
5 seconds remaining.
I thought Fnatic had a really nice setup though last game, where they went to the mid game not completely down where they could have been, but it felt like the Enchantress had a huge impact for the first like 7 minutes of the game, and then afterwards like nothing happened. So that's a little bit worrisome for me going into this next game. What if Mineski now has a better early game and they scale, since they scaled so well last game, are they going to be able to do the same thing this game? So right now I want to favor Mineski just because of how they preserved or how perseverant they are in the laning phase.
Right.
So Fnatic, they need to, it seems like they're going to change up their strategy completely. They're going to have more of a early to mid game centric lineup.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of a departure, and obviously last time around it was Mineski with the first pick. This time Fnatic take it. So instead of going for the Axe Crystal Maiden like we saw last game, it's an Axe Juggernaut. So taking 2 of your cores in the first 2 picks, maybe a little bit of a bold strategy here by Mineski, and the Ursa Warrior, I guess just the main purpose here is to be able to blow up that Juggernaut at the start of a fight.
And the reason why they probably pick Ursa is because they maybe want to have a way to zone out the Axe so the Axe doesn't go into the off lane. It's also a very strong hero against Juggernaut. You just press your R or your Enrage, whatever your hotkey is, and then Juggernaut does 0 damage with his Omni Slash, as well as Ursa can just man fight Juggernaut and completely own him. So it's not a bad hero for those 2 purposes. Also adds your Roche control and this, like in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the game, just with that hero alone, if you have some lifesteal. But having the Axe and the Juggernaut is kind of puzzling. Like, Axe counters Juggernaut, so I could see maybe why they wanted to pick that up, so the enemy team doesn't want to.
10 seconds remaining.
We'll have to see if this can work out for Mineski. They're going to need some strong supports going into this. They should. Banning the OD was really smart. Fnatic, heroes that are really good at Ursa, against Ursa. I want to say Naga is actually really good against Ursa, but I don't know if Mineski are going to go for it. Ursa can counter Alchemist early on. We haven't seen. Maybe we'll see Alchemist this game from one team. Who knows? I would be happy if we don't see that hero anymore. We saw it enough yesterday, I think.
Yeah. No, it's true. I definitely would not mind not seeing him, honestly. It's sort of weird from Ursa, I feel like, because a lot of the heroes that are like great against him are those illusion-based heroes that are kind of out of the meta. Like, we saw some CK in the earlier series, but it didn't look great. Phantom Lancer was like another one of those traditional counters. But yeah, they are going to take out that Naga, the one other main illusion-based hero, and obviously Miracle plays it like a champ if they want to do it themselves.
Yeah, I expect maybe Fnatic take a different approach to this game. They might, either they're going to go heavy on the early game, or they're going to try and split push the map really effectively with a Terrorblade or something along the lines. Now this is still a good.
Fnatic's turn to pick.
So far, TA is still a very strong pick for both teams, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
What happens.
I feel like that would be
Fnatic,
quite strong.
Fnatic, they'll probably pick
10
up a support
seconds
hero
remaining.
here. Something that's stable, maybe a Witch Doctor.
5 seconds.
You don't want to show
remaining.
too much. What else is there that's a stable support?
Warlock.
Rubik's not... Yeah, Warlock, Rubik isn't too bad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it feels like Warlock has definitely been the more heavily prioritized one. That being said, if Fnatic wanted to, they could try and press their luck and take it in their 4th pick. I feel like Mineski could still go for a Warlock even with the CM.
Yeah, they're just gonna pick it.
Radiant team.
Mineski now. You have to show one of your cards here, or you could pick another support. What's a good roaming support that's kind of left?
10
Nyx
seconds
Assassin
remaining.
isn't too bad against Ursa. It's good
5
against Warlock too if you can
remaining.
scout him out in the back line. Tusk was pretty good. Tusk is a very
Reserve
strong
time.
hero against Ursa because you can just kite him, snowball on him, punch him, shards him. Even the Sigil. I actually wouldn't mind a support Tusk right now for Mineski.
And you could do a dual lane with it too if you wanted to with the axe. And then you sort of apply a bit more pressure early on, try and... I don't know, it could be tough.
I don't think you can get away with a dual lane against an Ursa ever.
Okay.
Especially when they have the heal coming in from Warlock.
All right.
Then they're gonna right click you to death as long as Ursa has a poor man's shield. But if they did have like the Juggernaut, maybe going
Fnatic's
aggressive,
turn to pick.
setting up against the Ursa, then yeah,
Okay.
maybe that's what they're gonna do. They have 2 stuns now for Mineski, and then they could put the axe on the safe lane. He wins most 1v1 matchups, so that's
10
open for them.
seconds remaining.
Okay.
Fnatic, this is a really good TA game.
5 seconds
Do they want to pick their offlaner now though? Let's see.
Reserve time.
To me,
guess-
I feel like the Rubik CM sets you up quite well in that lane for kills onto any of the supports. Like, as you said, Ursa might be a bit of a tough one to take down, but like Warlock or Earth Spirit might run into issues.
I like Fnatic to maybe pick maybe a Nyx Assassin to scout out the map, get vision, or Centaur. Fnatic have to pick. Oh goodness gracious, this hero is extinct
Radiant
for a good
team
reason,
back.
but it just costs so much mana early on with the Ion Shell. His laning phase has been crippled. It's a really good combo. I think if you can get away with any lineup, it
10
would be with a
seconds
Darkseer
remaining.
or Spirit combination plus a Warlock. And
5
the way that you
seconds
punish
remaining.
normally Darkseer or Spirit combinations is just by picking split push. And since they already have the Juggernaut Axe, Mineski are showing that they really want to have a better team fight than Fnatic. But right now, Fnatic's team fight's really scary.
What about if Mineski just go a core silencer? Is that too bad of a pick, or I feel like you get into a decent timed force staff,
10
you kite
seconds
the Ursa
remaining.
around, and then you be that combo breaker with global. Is that too terrible?
5 seconds
Well,
remaining.
I don't want to say what Mineski's is right now because Fnatic have to pick first,
Right.
and then I think they're gonna
Reserve
they're gonna
time.
counter pick that last pick to perfection. Like say
Okay.
if Fnatic did pick a Storm right now, then Mineski might pick up that silencer. That would be a really good answer for the Storm. It's also definitely a good hero against all of the heroes. Ursa hates playing against silences. Mineski don't have any right now. It's good against the combo breakers of, as you said, the vacuums and stuff. But
Phantom
Dino.
Assassin.
okay, a QO special.
Radiant team pick.
Yay. Hero's super strong.
All right. I mean, this is another one of those heroes that just live and die by the crit, and you get a... I mean, you're not going to get a Battle Fury on this, right? Like, we're not going to be seeing the Battle Fury
10
PA. That's not a
seconds
thing, even
remaining.
though they have all this great wombo combo potential.
5
Nah,
seconds.
I think they'll go for... That's a very strong pick right now. They don't have anything to stop this Tinker. That's super scary if you're a Fnatic. Like, the only thing they really have is Earth Spirit. So, and then maybe when PA gets a BKB, Ursa gets a BKB. I'm actually really worried about Fnatic now. This Tinker pick is super strong. And if they don't manage to shut his farm down early, he can just go from lane to lane to lane, set up kills. And we saw Ohio's Axe last game. We saw why they pick it, or not. Never mind, I'm thinking about a different team.
I think it's a really great pick as well. It sets them up so well. You can blow up PA until she gets a BKB. I mean, to me, it feels like you almost have to even rush the BKB for TA. Or for PA? Do you still go back for like the Deso first?
Lifesteal. That's the thing right now. I'm so confused for Fnatic because Ursa, if he could go the Vlads himself, but at the same time, PA benefits a lot from the Vlads herself. So I'm curious to see which one of those two is going to go for it. PA normally gets like Vlad's into Deso and then the BKB, or Vlad's into like Basher, so you can hold an enemy in place. And then he definitely needs a BKB this game, like second or third item for PA. Ursa, same thing. He's going to need a Blink Dagger as well as some kind of lifesteal or the Helm of the Dom, but HOTD is kind of fallen off, so not too sure.
It's really tough. Like you said, they all need a lot of items, and they need them before Tinker starts getting out of control. But this is going to be it. We're moving into game number 2. We'll see if Mineski are going to be able to throw out what they need to deal with this Fnatic lineup. It certainly seems like they have the answers. Are you thinking that it's going to be a 2-0 here, Ryu? What's your read?
Time to get flamed again, but no. I think Mineski has a 65%.
Nice. I like it. Beautiful.
No, but seriously, I do think Mineski's lineup is a lot easier to execute and stronger. Well, oh.
All right.
You missed me, son.
They do realize the ward is up here, though, so this should be a quick and easy D ward. A nice way to start for Fnatic.
So, let's see who they're going to give the extra 100 to. Who's gonna get...
Yeah. I don't know. You probably just roll up there. Earth Spirit looks to be the one.
No, he'll tango it, but he doesn't even need to, actually. Earth Spirit.
Isn't that the greatest thing in the world? The low-range cliffing taking down the ward. It's amazing.
Melee range. Well, I mean, melee range doesn't matter anymore because of Monkey King, so...
That's fair enough. So, we're going into it. Mushi playing on his Juggernaut. We do have Raging Potato on the Tinker. And then, of course, QO, PA. Miracle has played this hero so many times, I feel like, the Ursa. Usually out of the mid-roll, but now playing it on the safe lane as well. I mean, how did you feel about the transition that we saw? Did you feel like he played a good Spectre last game? Was Miracle doing everything that he needed to pretty much?
Yeah, I think that their biggest problem last game is they blow the haunt, and then they just couldn't necessarily catch the enemies. Okay. So, and then they scouted out DJ here, and they know that there's going to be a dual lane coming out. They can punish this pretty heavily. I mean, they could just spin on Ohio right now, and he's going to die.
Yeah, Ohio in a hell of a lot of trouble. Fnatic going to lose their off-lane hero. First blood going to Ninja Boogie. And this tri-lane is terrifying.
And you didn't even get level 2. Like, the whole point of Darkseer is to, like, suicide and then get level 2, and then you feel a little bit safer, but ES is leeching EXP here. This is just a little bit questioning, like, kind of like, what are they doing down here in the bottom lane? At least with that death, that means that the Blade Fury is on cooldown for a very long time for Mushi. But he's going to have it here soon. Has to be very careful for Ohio. He could just die again.
I mean, AU can pull him into the tower almost at this point. Like, you got to be really careful. The other thing is that Miracle has been able to have a completely free lane, and that's also meant that Febby has gotten free pulls off. So you're going to have a farmed Warlock, and you're going to have a farmed Ursa.
Mid lane QO. He's going to get... Oh, those right-click misses. Could have been the death of him.
Bottom lane instead. They're going on to Ohio yet again. They find another kill. He did get level 2 at the very least, but now you sacrificed your life twice for that.
Yeah. I'm not sure what their thought was going into this bottom lane. You're against a Juggernaut who can spin and then 2 stuns. It's a little bit of a suicide, but maybe they know something. that we don't, and then he's just gonna be able, well, he's just gonna go to the jungle now. It's like, okay, well, I got my level 2, I'm gonna go to the jungle now. Meanwhile, the Axe is just started with the jungle, now he's level 3, working on that 4.
Oh, and meanwhile, DJ trying to hunt. We'll see if they can catch up to him. It looks like they're gonna chase it. Like, they have the Hasterin on the CM, so DJ should go down here, I think. There's the Frostbite. Right click's coming in. KYXY is back up to full HP. They're able to get the body blocks out. DJ's in a hell of a lot of trouble. They get the lift in the middle of it. Meanwhile, you do get a courier snipe by the Warlock since he had so much free room. So Febby gained something for his team, but it's a 3-0 start for Mineski.
Yeah, and the courier snipe didn't happen when it was like bottling the Tinker's stuff or anything. So at the end of the day, it is nice that they do all get 200 gold, but at the same time, Febby is kind of scouting out, seeing what's happening.
He blocked the stack at the very least, so that's something else going in their favor. But
meanwhile, bottom, Mushi getting pressured pretty heavily now because Rubik did rotate out of the lane. Yeah, and because the Rubik and the CM did rotate out of the lane for the Earth Spirit, that did open up Ohio being able to go freely in the bottom lane. Now they're back, though. Has to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, I mean, they can go on him yet again. Ohio going to be lifted here. He does have enough for Surge if he wants to use it, but can't use it until the lift comes out. There it goes immediately. Oh, good kick by DJ. That might have actually saved his life, but now they have another Frostbite. So Ohio going to drop. It was a good play by DJ, but not good enough to save his Darkseer.
Like you said, nice heads up. Now we're going to go Shrine for Fnatic, but it's still 4-0, man. Still 4-0. They still have the strong team fight for later on. They just need to stop the bleeding. They need to find ways to also kill this Tinker. So if they can find a way to rotate, like give the Ion Shell to DJ right now, and then he goes smoke, play. Oh, well, AU's probably dead.
Yeah, they'll go on him. A quick little lift up there. The early point in upheaval, not something that you always see, but he will taunt as he dies. Yeah, an interesting build here by Febby. We've seen this before where there's no points in Fatal Bonds early.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting considering how Vacuum synergizes so well with Fatal Bonds. It also synergizes really well with upheaval too. Like if you're able to just upheaval, then they're just slowed forever.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So far though, top lane, TPN from Rubik. Put the sentry down to see if there's anybody there.
I mean, Miracle is here. They can maybe make something happen. He's going to go for the overpower. There's a chance that they could try and cliff Miracle, but it does seem unlikely to work unless you bring in a little bit more help. So KYXY getting slightly dove, but Miracle will finally back off.
That's just a huge amount of damage coming in from Ursa.
Well, but the early laning phase, at least, it's looking relatively even. Mineski a little bit ahead in terms of experience as they are going to jump onto Raging Potato. And again, the upheaval being a bit of a punish here. They actually don't have a ton of damage to almost kills off QO, actually. But the heals come in at the end, and that does make sure that the PA survives.
If you didn't have that upheaval, he could have just walked away.
Yeah.
So very interesting and nice roaming Warlock, I want to say, getting these kills, shutting down the Tinker. That's what they need to do. If they let this Tinker get too much free farm, it's going to spell disaster. Febby, Warlock on Rubik action, DD on Q.
They do have another upheaval in a little bit here, and they might try and go for a kill with PA jumping on top of AU. There's a chance for it. The call on to 2. All right, KYXY going to go for the TP out, and that actually saves the day. And now Mushi running down Febby. They do manage to bring down AU at the very least, but Mushi forced to run away now. Does not have his level 6. Pops the Shrine, the upheaval. Going to bring him low. DJ shows up as well to get in on the action, making sure he takes down his former teammate.
Yeah, interesting. Jug TP's out of the lane right before he gets level 6. If he had that level 6, he could have potentially gotten 2 kills or something along those lines. But and then with that Dire Ward, it was able to show where the Rubik was. So allowing QO to get that finish.
And
So this is basically Fnatic back into the game just because they're rotating really nicely. Not giving up just yet.
yeah, and I think that like how much of a worry is the Tinker? Like, is it just that as soon as he gets his Blink Dagger, he's going to be able to start killing off everybody on Fnatic, or what's the items that he needs to really get out of control?
I think just the Boots of Travel. Like, it's going to be it's going to be hard for them to catch him. You can see that Miracle, he's going for the Blink first because he knows that he has to put a lot of pressure onto the Tinker early. If he doesn't, then Tinker's just going to be able to split push, do whatever he wants.
Uh-oh. Mushi, bottom lane. They have the Ion Shell. They just TP'd away support as well. So Mushi all alone in this bottom lane. It's still not feeling completely confident jumping on him yet. All right, Fnatic are there now. There's the slow. They can still jump in. A crit comes out. Is it enough? A second crit. And that will be the end of him. QO on a killing spree. Well done by Fnatic.
All right, that is some absurd luck. That's more lucky than 2 bashes coming in from a Spirit Breaker.
Oh, AU? They're chasing another crit. QO, he ate his Wheaties today. Gonna take him down. And now gonna try and TP out of there. The call comes out. Oh, the stun! They wanted to try and interrupt it to keep alive that Darkseer, but didn't quite connect in time.
Yep. Fnatic are making all the plays, and that's giving Febby all the free levels in the mid lane that he wants. But meanwhile,
Smart money.
trying to figure out where this Tinker went. He went into the jungle. He's gonna start stack. No, he's gonna stack. Nope. Unfortunately, doesn't get that one. If he was able to get there a little bit sooner, he could have double stacked this for himself, and then that would have been his Boots of Travel.
Febby mid lane trying to run away is going to be able to get dropped, and now Mushi gonna pay for that kill. The heal that came out and the extra movement speed that the Warlock had was almost enough to get him out from that one.
Yeah, so far these rotations from Mushi, they've been kind of costing him his life in a lot of these situations. Just trying to get a lot done on the core role, but it's just not paying off for him.
So the early laning stage into the favor of Fnatic quite heavily, 2,000 gold roughly. And it's also, you know, going to be a situation where your Ursa gets a Blink Dagger and has it done now. Can kill off AU, I believe. Jumps out, quick jump forward. AU tries to create that separation, but now the phase boots and the kill.
Not much you can do there. Poor Rubik. We'll be able to eat a tome soon. See if there's any... Oh, vacuum.
Raging Potato wants to battle this out. There's a chance Ninjabugi could have tried to make something happen there, but doesn't want to overextend himself. And with the 2 heroes smoke up mid, they want to take down Mushi again.
Bottom lane. He got the blink ready.
Jump forward, Raging Potato, pops that, ends up going down. Immediately purging off the blind. But this is the movement as well. They want to try and find more. Ninjabugi is going to be the target they jump on. Jumps forward, almost takes them down. DJ with the follow-up. They get the stun, get the kill.
This aggression coming out from Mineski, it's just too much. They don't know how to stop. But still KYXY, he's got his Blink Dagger. That's going to be their hopefully their saving grace for Mineski.
And you can see the Helm of the Dominator recipe that Ohio is going to be going for in this one. Not exactly what I would have expected, but I guess, I don't know. Do you like that as opposed to the mechanism?
I actually don't, personally. I've seen MSS go for this kind of build, but he would normally do it like last patch, not in the 7.03 patch.
Right.
It had a lot more value before. You had the combination of getting a Centaur creep into a vacuum stun is what he did, but I don't think you need that here. You have an Earth Spirit, you have Warlock ulti, and then Mecha just super value.
Oh, they're baiting QO into this, but QO playing it safe here, does not want to step too far ahead. And they ping out where they think KYXY is. And it looks like Fnatic are just going to be sitting back here. Not going to get caught out.
So Rubik just got level 6. Let's see what he can steal. Basically, there's Warlock ulti and maybe Wall or Vacuum. This is not a good Rubik game at all.
Yeah, they get the D ward here. That will signal to AU. There's a couple heroes in the area. But still, very tenuous moments at this stage. Doesn't look like Mineski quite want to fight yet, just because of how powerful Fnatic lineup still is. So do you feel like as this game goes on, the game starts to get a little bit easier for Fnatic, or rather for Mineski, or do you think that Fnatic's lineup can kind of scale well into the later stages?
Well, I think Fnatic can always scale because once they get the BKBs on the PA and the Ursa, then a lot of what Tinker can do is just it's gonna be ineffective.
Oh.
So
Mushi showing in lane. It's only Ninja Boogie here. Axis TPing in right now, but all 5 from Fnatic looking to take this fight. Tinker is back at home as well. This is such a scary moment because you get one big call onto all these heroes. Like, they don't have vision of all these heroes here. All right, Warlock walking forward. They're going to jump now. Miracle on top of AU, taking him down quickly. The Frostbite comes out. They get the call, but I'm not sure if it's going to be quite enough. They drop the Warlock ulti as well. KYXY is gone. Rage and Potato also gets caught. The Tinker left all alone. QO trying to run away from this one, and it looks like they are going to have to back out there, but Miracle still chasing. Ninja Boogie is going to drop there. So 3 die in a matter of seconds, and now Raging Potato gets jumped on as well. He's gone. Vacuum back onto him. Muchi is going to drop too. 5 go down, a triple kill for Ohio. And this is the strength of this Fnatic lineup.
Yep, they just have the go, go, go mentality. You put Ion Shell on anyone, the PA, the Ursa, and then they just instantly blow up one of the supports. There's just not much they can really do on the support side of saving themselves. Basically, the Frostbite is keeping CM alive a little bit. But KYXY, he has to get bigger calls than just one man. He needed to get the Ursa before he got his Enrage off, his Overpower off. But they need to also farm. They need to farm their Blade Mail. They need to farm their Blink Dagger. And if they're going to farm those items on Mineski, that means that Fnatic are going to have a free Roshan.
Oh, it's true. Like, and you're going for as much early fighting builds as you can, but the heroes just aren't quite coming online as quickly as you see from Fnatic, and now moving in towards that Rosh, like you said. And you can't even really contest because of Febby getting this early point in upheaval. Like, all of these heroes, if they get caught by that, it's going to be really hard for them to run away. And I just don't know. Even with Warlock ulti down, I feel like Upheaval is almost the next best thing to that. They're going to jump in here. KYXY gets the call onto 2. It's not bad. The stun to follow. But now they have the Upheaval going. And now there's nowhere to run. Vacuum Wall onto 2. QO manages to get the Aegis. He's not going to die. And now the Ion Shells from Ohio. They're going to take him down. Febby is still going to get ran down here by Mushi. But QO is back up. Going to start to run him down. Mushi in trouble. Going to drop yet again. Another triple kill for Ohio. And maybe going to be able to take down AU here as well as Miracle chases. Wants to kill him. Gets the kick away. I mean, AU's doing everything in his arsenal to try and stay alive here, but I feel like it's all going to be for naught as they eventually take them down.
I will say the one good thing that happened out of that, they did get the Aegis. They managed to kill it off. I think QO did pick it up. So at least with them taking that fight, even though they lost it pretty handily, they won't be subject to Fnatic constantly pressuring the towers with this Aegis and them not having a solution. But at the same time, with that gives QO his Desolator. He's gonna be one-shotting people potentially with his dagger, it feels like.
Yeah.
And this is just gonna be Mineski trying to find a way to farm on the map, and I don't know if they can.
And you now have a lot of the items that you need in your kit for Fnatic because of all this early gold that's gone their way. It's almost a 10,000 net worth lead. Miracle is going to have his Blink and the Vlad stun. Your PA, as you said, finished off that Deso. Darkseer, because of all these kills he's gotten, is really close to finishing off a mechanism as they just eliminate Ninja Boogie. The 5-man is ready to roll. They're going to start going like crazy.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ping's on the bottom lane. Let's go get it.
Smart money.
Yeah.
And the mech is already complete for Darkseer. He just picked up the Helm of the Dominator, I feel like 3 minutes ago or something.
I mean, he's gotten 6 kills in the last, like, 4 minutes, so he's pretty well off. Ohio's had a good game so far. Not quite going to catch Rage of Potato there. Actually has to cancel his TP. They dropped the Chaotic Offering. That's a hell of a lot of hate for a poor old Tinker. But nonetheless, he is going to die here. Miracle dive into tier 3 towers. Doesn't even give a damn. AU is going to drop from QO, jumping on his head as well. The Chaotic Offering is there. The tower, long since forgotten, as QO, he is definitely one to dive. Mushi gonna get ran through as well. They're diving all the damn towers. A team wipe inside their own base. No respect in the least bit. Febby picking up a triple kill with his Warlock. Golem, my god.
Radiant's bottom
Have
tower
mercy.
This is just the power. The power of MVP is back. MVP Phoenix. No, the Fnatic, man, they're doing a really good job.
Radiant's
Constant
bottom
pressure.
tower has fallen.
They haven't taken their gas off the pedal once this game. And that's what you have to do against a Tinker. You have to constantly invade his jungle, make sure he's not free farming. They've completely nullified Tinker split pushing.
Yeah. And, well, Ohio is caught. He has a mechanism. Does actually not get it off. So Ohio going to be punished. Have they gone too deep? They're going to take down Febby. The Omni Slash switching between them as well. Mushi's still looking for the chase. Oh, baby.
Those creeps weren't there. The ES was dead.
So they get a little bit over anxious. 2,000 gold swing. And now, you know, it's still looking quite bad for Mineski, but there's maybe a light at the end of the tunnel if they can string together a couple more kills like that.
Yeah, they just need to make sure they can get this Axe his Blade Mail, and then we'll see how the Blade Mail affects QO. Like if he can potentially make the PA kill herself in team fights and whatnot. Also, the Tinker's gonna be rushing an Ags. Normally you see the Aether Lens first, but realizing at this pace in the game, they're gonna be potentially high ground sieged yet again. And so they really want to have those extra marches or those extra heat-seeking missiles. Like, oh, they're going to go on Febby.
I don't know. This is the play. QO is invis right next to him. They're going to be able to bring him down in a second, but might end up running into hell. QO jumps down one. Rage of Potato already gone. Now looking for KYXY. Silenced is going to have his Blink Dagger back off cooldown soon, but the Urn Charge actually canceling it out. And KYXY soon to fall, eliminated by QO. And yeah, you said it. The MVP Phoenix blood is still strong in this guy. Making it work.
They're thinking that Fnatic are going to split up and maybe farm, but that's not what's happening. They constantly keep grouping up, and they're applying pressure everywhere on the map. So Mineski are not giving respect to that, and so they keep getting punished and punished and punished when they're trying to go for these pick plays.
Now look at Miracle here. He's ready for anybody to show up. There's like no creeps around him, no way to farm up. He just wants to fight, just wants to kill him. And you can see CM rightly terrified. But we're getting closer towards those BKBs coming online. You almost have it completed for the Ursa. PA has one almost done as well.
Many thanks.
Mushi waiting, wanted to make something happen here.
Yeah, maybe they can still.
They have Ion Shell on AU. There's the jump forward, Omni Slash used, but QO does still have the Phantom Strike, not going to be able to get it off. DJ couldn't quite interrupt in time, and the mechanism wasn't there either. Fnatic, you kind of need to be a little bit careful here.
Oh, fortunately, you got the Urn Charge put on him again. Are they going to find him?
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, they got him. Good play there. The stun connects. Miracle going to be able to pick up the kill in the meantime. Tinker's still spamming out the waves, trying to cut this creep wave. But, and I mean, I guess that's the thing. If you can keep on stringing these kills together and slow down the push of Fnatic by any means, it's going to be quite good. The question is just going to be what they do with the next Aegis.
Yeah, it's going to be Aegis timing for Fnatic as well as the BKBs, and then Mineski, can they disengage in these team fights when you have all these Blink Dagger heroes constantly running on top of you? So I would actually like to see Ohio not go for this. Actually, they do need a pipe. But I really love Darkseer's having that Blink Dagger so he can be the initiator. Him comboing with the Earth Spirit is really a wonderful thing to watch, but he might still hit those combos without the Blink Dagger, and they really do need to have a pipe on their team for the Tinker March.
Yeah, and I guess that's one of the nice things about like also going for the helm on top of the pipe is that you also have that aura regen that's coming out from it. So 8 aura regen on the Darkseer. Not to mention that he has the mechanism, so they've got that sustain. And you're also going to hit that next timing with the BKBs where suddenly Tinker's stuff, even though he has the Aghanim Scepter, isn't going to be quite as potent as it might otherwise be because of those BKBs and Fnatic basically just running at him.
Yeah, he's going to eventually need a sheep stick for these BKBs. He might eventually get there this game. But right now it's kind of like Tinker trying to split push the map, Mushi trying to farm as much as he can, where he can, and not die. So QO BKB completed. Any other big items?
Oh, Miracle.
Oh, wow, he just...
No, go back. It's there.
Go back.
I mean, look at QO here. There was nobody around him for a good, like, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds or something while he was just hitting the tier 2 tower with no creeps nearby. Just not afraid. He's got a haster and has a BKB. By just yelling at his team to come join him.
Yeah, they have urns, they have the heal coming in from Febby, so he's not afraid to just take a little bit of damage here.
And here comes the Roshan that we all knew could come. Mineski not really in a great position to come and contest it, which unfortunately is going to make this quite tough to hold the high ground. Tinker will be able to finish off his Aghanims by the time they go high ground, so that's something.
Now, the problem is when they do go for this high ground siege, it's going to be massive marches and then rockets and stuff. And PA doesn't have the most health in the world. So when she's sieging the high ground tier 3 tower, it's like she doesn't attack that fast. She can't blink strike on a tower. They kind of need to get a kill because you don't want to pop your BKB as a PA and hit the tower, and that's what they're going to have to do.
That's definitely true. Maybe you have Miracle that does it instead, but he doesn't have the Aegis, so yeah, that's kind of tough. We'll have to watch and see how they decide to take it. Maybe like all of the extra HP regen that they've got by virtue of like, you know, as we mentioned, the Urn, the Helm of the Dominator will be enough to top her off.
You're gonna need a heart on the PA, on the Ursa. Get ready, boys. 30 more minutes coming at you, at least.
I mean, if you don't have the axe back there, it might not be able to be that quick even. Like, they're not at home, and we are going to see Fnatic getting ready to start pressuring these areas down. Last tier 2 taken. Gonna wait for the next creep wave. Pop the pipe at that point, and it's time to party.
They can't. I don't think they can.
You don't think so?
I don't think they can go high ground. I think it's a mistake if they try.
Okay. Well,
there's just no answer for Tinker, and they don't have a hero that can right-click towers.
What have we?
Especially safely. Like, imagine if an axe is just blade mail blinked in and they pull them to the tier 4 towers.
Right.
You could just die, and then that gives all the momentum back to Mineski's side.
I'll take that.
So what do you have to wait for then if you're Fnatic? Is it an item that you wait for?
You catch out Mushi or you catch out the Tinker in the lanes farming. You also need to wait out for an Abyssal Blade probably on the Ursa or the PA. Yeah, he does have it queued up looking here over here at Miracle. You need to have a lockdown way, and then you have to find a way to lock down the Tinker.
Okay. A lot of patience shown. That's definitely something that we haven't always seen from these teams. DJ is spotted out by this ward. Ohio ready to go in on him here. Although there aren't. What am I talking about? They're on the same team. This is how you know it's been a late night, everybody. Ohio about ready to gank DJ, clearly. But yeah, Tinker is there. They're waiting for him instead. And this, I actually really like the decision to take the Hellbear, so you get the Cloak Aura instead. Because now you get 20% magic resistance for all these buddies.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
QO taking some damage, has the slow heals coming in from the Warlock. The jump forward immediately under range of Potato. He's just gone. They forced the buyback immediately. Nobody else is there. Juggernaut is split pushing along the top lane. Mushi wants to take this one, but they've already lost their own barracks. QO still hitting, has the Aegis, jumps forward for more, pops the BKB, but KYXY is there, trying to turn this one back around. The stun connects. There's the vacuum wall on it too. QO turning to fight more. They have the Canic offering range of Potato. He's so freaking low, but not going to die yet. They're able to create that separation, and QO does finally jump forward, finds the kill on the Tinker. He's dead for a minute. And now, with the Aegis coming back up for QO, they're going to keep their eyes on the prize, focus on these barracks, and take them down as soon as they get a creep wave, because that was something that Mineski were able to stop from happening for at least a moment. But that means that AU might die in the meantime.
Where was the axe? I don't know where the axe was the whole time. Like, they were just sieging the high ground, and then they have a chance to save the Tinker if the axe was there sooner. So KYXY just not there in time to help. But yeah, like you said, trying to stall as much as he can, Mushi.
He's running away, wants to make this type of play, and it is going to be there.
Base. Like diving in on these supports.
Very angry about this situation, the Bear Man. But you have a catapult now, so that's going to break the backdoor protection. And, I mean, they bought enough time for Tinker to get back up. You played this about as well as you can for Mineski, and they actually have to back out.
So, and now they're playing super aggressive. No BKB on Miracle. This could be a good opportunity.
Whoa. What? Okay, that was not the play. Febby is going to die there. QO turns back up, wants to run in. The rest of his team is gone. But QO is still going to die for this one. Ties another kill. Miracle is godlike. Mushi forced to run away and hide. What the hell? This game is all kinds of silly.
Kappa.
All that need be said.
Well, now they're just going to back out. Probably wait for... Yep, take some shrines. Probably wait for the next Aegis and then potentially go high ground. Or you just catch out the Tinker again. So they really need to have 4 staffs in place for Mineski. If they had a 4 staff on the Axe, which he was building for the CM as well, they would have saved Tinker there, and then this game might be looking a little bit different. Also, Ursa did get a bash on Tinker the second time, which caused him to, after he diebacked, that was the reason why he died again.
Oh, okay.
So the basher paid off. And then they took the racks. Now it's going to be a little bit different approaching these next team fights because Tinker should have the help and support of 2 4 staffs now.
Yeah. I mean, and that it's sort of emblematic of this entire game that you have this lineup that is quite good if you can make all the plays that you need to, but it's just coming online too quickly, Fnatic right now. Mushi, they're in the area. Vision right now. They have
a gem on the dark sphere. This could be very bad for Mushi.
They spot him. They're on top of Mushi. KYXY jumps in. The Omni Slash as well. It's not going to be enough. Miracle, BKB, Enrage. These guys are gone. Yeah, that's a minute with no Juggernaut and 40 seconds with no Axe. Fnatic, it's time to run down another lane.
Yep. Question is, how is Tinker going to defend this top lane? Is he going to defend at the tier 2? Is he going to defend at the tier 3? Let's see what he wants to do. If Tinker dies now, though, trying to defend, the game is pretty much over.
Yeah.
Radiant's top
I really do again love the creep that they picked up, having this little potato, the Hellbear, because adding that extra magic resistance just makes all the difference in the world. Ranger Potato, they got him. There's the Magnetize. He knows what's going to happen here. Although actually they don't quite run him down yet. The Ghost Scepter keeping him alive. And the X catches on to QO. If there's a crit here, he might beat himself to death. Pops the BKB, turns to fight, takes down the Maiden.
Abyssal is already completed on him.
Yeah, that is real rough. And I mean, they do force back the rest of Fnatic yet again, as the Ags is going to start to do their work. But they start pulling out the Upheaval as well. Jump forward. There's the Abyssal. That's going to be a dead Tinker. Dead for 50 seconds. Another BKB popped. And more battles coming out soon. AU is gone, pops the Enrage. QO is there to try and go in a second round if he wants to. Throws out the dagger, slowed, critted, gone. 4 gone. And Fnatic respond in a big way after a disappointing game number 1. 40-12. They just dismantle them.
And this is why you sometimes don't see Tinkers, because if you're able to punish the rest of his team early on and punish him too, like he died one time before his Boots of Travel, and then he died like 2 times right afterwards because of the Ursa having a fast blink dagger and just rotating perfectly. That's kind of what happens. So then you can't put a foothold on the game. You can't split push effectively. The enemy team gets free Roches because you yourself, like your team, can't really contest Roche or do anything about it. And that just kind of crippled them in these situations. So really well played from Fnatic. This strategy of the Darkseer coming back, coupled with the aggressiveness of all the 3 heroes that you can Ion Shell. I really like seeing Darkseer coming back in the meta for some games like this.
Totally. It's really cool to see it. And it's the perfect lineup for it. I think that that's the thing that's cool about this type of lineup that we see, is that it's a couple of heroes that are outside of the meta, but they work in the context of this game. So we'll have to see what happens in game number 3. We saw the first one go to 63 minutes. This one, much shorter than that. What did it end
You
up
jinxed
being?
it, man.
I know I did. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. But I'm going to say that the next game is going to be amazing, and I promise you I will not jinx that one. So stay tuned, everybody. Mineski versus Fnatic. The winner is going to, actually, believe it or not, knock the other team out. So it's not just that it's a grudge match, it's also an elimination grudge match. And you know, we've lost Faceless earlier today. They got knocked out in the first round of these qualifiers, losing to Geek Fam. Now the fact that these 2 teams are going to knock one or the other out of this tournament, it's kind of mind-blowing how deep C is right now. So stay tuned, everybody. More great Dota 2 action to continue right after this.